Stocks soaring as Wall Street's record run shows no sign of stopping. The Dow closing at an all-time high yesterday, along with the S&P and NASDAQ. Traders are off today for the holiday. The Dow closing just below 27,000. The Dow has hit 100 record closes since President Trump took office. So will stocks keep going higher? And how will tomorrow's jobs report impact the market? Let's bring in Gene Marks, certified public accountant and Forbes business columnist. Thank you so much, Gene, for joining us here. Really appreciate it.
Hi,
let's take a look at this jobs report because we just have those numbers here. We'll take a look at the private jobs created in June according to ADP. You've got 135,000 expected, 102,000 actual. What does that tell you?
It tells me a few things. I mean, ADP, they do this report every month, as does some other payroll companies. And you know, we're expecting 135. We only had 102,000. From many of our clients, many of the people, my readers that I talk to, a lot of businesses, Alicia, are actually having a hard time finding people. You know, I find few and far businesses around that aren't looking for people, don't have open positions, don't have the work that's there. But I think what we're seeing in the numbers is some labor shortages that are impacting the ability for a lot of employers to hire. And I think we may be seeing those exact same things when we see the jobs report tomorrow.
And what about, we have another number here, small company job losses in June. Let's take a look at that number as well. For companies with fewer than 50,000 employees, or under 50K employees, 23,000, under 20K employees, 37,000.
Right, yeah, I mean, again,
there we go.
Well, what we're seeing with small businesses, Alicia, is the exact same thing. I mean, you know, large corporations have the ability to hire. A lot of small companies are struggling to hire as well. So because of that, you know, they're just not able to fulfill some of the demand that they have. Some of that is being shown in the markets now. But you know, what we're really seeing in the markets, though, is not necessarily jobs driven. I think everybody agrees that the economy is going pretty well. What's happening in the markets, Alicia, is a combination of a few different things. I mean, number one is interest rates are still low. And if, you know, jobs are still struggling, you know, and the economy is still hovering around 3% or less than that, a lot of people in the market feel that, you know, the Fed may come in with holding interest rates steady or even lowering them more. And just think about it. I mean, if you want to invest money, where do you go to put your money nowadays? You know, do you stick it in the bank at next to nothing interest, or do you put it in some kind of an index fund or a stock market fund where you get the most growth? And because of that, it's generated a lot of demand for stocks, and we're seeing that this year.
And when you see this record high with the Dow, I mean, that sounds fantastic, but how long can this rally continue, do you think?
Who knows, right? I mean, right. I'm not going to sit here and make any predictions. I would love to be able to do that. But, you know, right now, the signs are still optimistic. And I'll give you a couple of reasons why. I mean, most of the economic factors out there are still pretty strong. Durable goods orders are up if you exclude, you know, Boeing's problems. Overall economic output is good. Consumer confidence and consumer spending are still high, and small business optimism is at a historical high. So we're entering into an election year. And Elisa, you had mentioned at the beginning of this segment about how many sessions we've seen gains. Do you know the market has risen 55% since President Trump was elected president back in November of 2016. So he is well aware of how the market plays into his political prospects, and I think that his administration will be doing everything possible to make sure that there is going to be a rosy market at least through the end of next year. So that's my best guess.
Do you have any concerns with China? I know we kind of have this ceasefire type situation with China right now. The tensions have simmered just a little, but it's not over yet. Should Americans be concerned there?
Yeah, I think what's going to happen with China is that the president and the Chinese are going to ultimately come to some type of an agreement. But the tariffs that we see in place right now, Alicia, you're going to see them stick around for a while. And the reason why is because people want the president to prove, and the president wants to have the Chinese prove, that they can live up to their agreements. And some of the factors that they want to agree to, which is to cut out on some of the technology transfers required and some of the sabotage or stealing of technology, it's going to take a while to prove that they live up to, you know, to the basics of an agreement. So what we're telling our readers, or telling my clients, is that we're going to see some type of an agreement with the Chinese, but the tariffs aren't going to be going away anytime soon. Plus, the government's making a lot of money off those tariffs.
Absolutely. Gene Marks, thank you so much for your expertise today. Have a good one.
Thanks, Alicia.